Good morning. My name is Michael Powell.
Kyle Fiegler. Will Heilig.
Ray O'Donnell.
I'm Jacob Hager.
And this morning, our group is here to present 4 diverse ideas that are both cost-effective and easy to implement that will increase millennial users in your credit union. Starting off first with your website, which although it has a clean and modern design, it is clear when you first visit it that the photos are targeting an older demographic than the new users you desire. You're first seen with pictures of a family. These are outside the millennial age group in most cases. And research shows by Google in 2012 that just when you meet a person face to face, you have a strong first impression at about 50 milliseconds. So when you have new members coming to your website, the first impression is not necessarily, as a younger audience, that this is something catering to me. For example, PNC, who is Towson's campus provider and also a member with other universities, when you visit their site, you first see pictures that clearly are targeting a younger demographic. In this case, a man with a smartphone, as well as plans for people as they look towards graduation and their future financially.
Okay, so yeah, a large part of our presentation was based off of social media, because obviously, like, young people love social media, they're addicted to their phones, so why not advertise through that medium? And to emphasize what other people have talked about, you guys should definitely hire an intern. It can be unpaid, paid, whatever can fit in the budget, but have that intern focus solely on social media, because it's basically free advertising. So yeah, hire a student to advocate for the credit union. So that would basically be a campus ambassador, either like a finance or accounting intern, like from Towson, Stevenson, something like that. Somebody that peers on campus can turn to and look up to for financial advice. So yeah, give that student the task of posting in, for example, like Towson University's class of 2018 page. It could be anything, just like based like along the lines of just advocating for the credit union. So just giving like financial advice, something with like a little like credit union plug. Next slide. Okay, so yeah, to emphasize more, Twitter, it's another huge social media site that millennials love to use. So yeah, again, I think credit union like doesn't have a Twitter account. And we think that's a huge missed opportunity, because again, like Twitter is just free advertising, so we want to take advantage of all of those opportunities and just have them do the same thing, just like post, for example, just like hashtag this tweet and get your first year membership internship free, something along those lines, some like big incentive that would be like very eye-catching. Okay, Twitter and Facebook can actually be used in unison. So you can share a Facebook post on Twitter or vice versa. Just again, like free advertising is key. Yeah, and moving on, LinkedIn. I tried to find you guys on LinkedIn, and it was like you guys like really didn't have a page. It was like very basic. And most college like students frequent LinkedIn looking for internships, looking for full-time jobs, looking for information on companies. So we highly recommend utilizing LinkedIn. Again, it's just free advertising, and it's just an easy way to market to a mass audience of young people. Okay, yeah, for example, this is M&T Bank's LinkedIn page. It's like very immersive. Again, like M&T Bank is a big company. It's way bigger than the credit union, but it could also be used as a great template to base your page off of. So you have about us, very detailed, opportunities for jobs, basic overview, and just very like eye-catching, very appealing.
So another idea we had was new app development. What it should look like should be, we have an example here of M&T Bank, where it's bright and attractive to young eyes. The credit union brand should be emphasized. I know that's a big part of what you guys like, is that you are part of Baltimore County and to its residents. And it's easy to access and use. It's big buttons with pretty big lettering. Where to advertise the app? You can advertise pretty much anywhere, especially like on the credit union, on the property, or through social media, like Will was talking about with Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Continuing, we about why the app would be helpful. Living in a faster world, people are always moving their money on their phone, and most of the time their phone is always with them, so money can be moved at any time. It personalizes your brand, and your brand is seen more often. And millennials, who you're targeting, spend more time on their phone than any other older generation.
Okay, so what I did was I went to how are we gonna pay for this mobile app, and I know you guys aren't for profit. You were to reinvest in yourselves. So what we came up with was we could charge what is called a remote deposit capture. It's the process of depositing a check into a bank from a remote location without having to physically deliver it to the bank. A lot of other banks around the country have been developing this remote deposit capture, which is they charge about 50 cents per deposit, and you could reinvest that money into the mobile app, because mobile apps can run anywhere from $500,000 to $5 million. They're very expensive, and this would be a good way for you guys to try to earn some of your money back. Others would argue that creating a good mobile platform would be better than having branches, because it would reduce the costs of hiring employees and having overhead and stuff like that. So, move on.
Final way we came up with that we think the credit union could attract more young teens and young adults is through financial education workshops at high school. We believe the reason why most younger adults don't use credit unions is not because the credit unions are bad, but because they don't have enough information about the rates and how good credit unions actually can help them. So we decided hosting education workshops at high school will expose them to the wonderful programs that you guys already have, such as the teen checking accounts and scholarship program. Will make more teens, look into credit unions. We also thought about teaching the students how to save money and invest at this financial education workshops. And we also thought about assisting them in securing summer jobs. So that way, with summer jobs, that means they have more income coming in and they will need somewhere to bank. So that's a way to build customer base. We also thought about using gifts such as pens, daily planners, and backpacks, which the students use every day. So when they have those with them, it's a constant reminder of the credit union, so they keep seeing the logo and everything every day. To get an idea of the population we were reaching by doing this financial education workshops, we targeted 3 local Baltimore County high schools, and we see the population that's about 4,500 students we'll be trying to reach. And then the cost of implementing this plan, in terms of using a high school to host this workshop, we reach out to the high schools and they cost nothing. The only thing we have to do is to reach out to the school administrators, and that way we can use the school. And that'll be it for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.